Hey guys, my name is Aditya Narayan and I'm here by representing on behalf of myself and from as a student of St. Clair College. And today I'm gonna talk about a topic which is also a social problem in our world that is called war and terrorism. So, what is war and terrorism? War and terrorism are both similar kind of armed conflicts that aim to defend an opponent but have a different intentions. These are the part of human civilization that has been experienced and fought over hundreds of decades. Since humans have gained the advancement of technology and intelligence, they have a frightening and more dangerous consequences that threaten human existence. Moreover, the government and unidentified organizations which have played a major role both in war and terrorism, which led to bloodshed and destruction of past civilization and the records of unimaginable treasures and knowledge. Since a war has two phases, one is an international war, which is between two or more nations participating over a certain landmass or resources, and the other one is civil war, which is defined as a war within a nation with a good intention for the rights of civilians. There has been two major international wars that has occurred in the past which led to mass destruction and death of millions of soldiers and civilization, and it is known as the World War One and the World War Two. On the other hand, the most famous civil war that has occurred was the American Civil War between the states, which lasted from 1861 to 1865. The war is one of the part of human heritage that has been still existed from the beginning of human race. Terrorism is defined as a calculated intention of unlawful violence, threat, and killing to inculcate fear in the government or society in pursuit of goals that are generally political, religious, or ideological. The reason for this form of asymmetrical warfare to directly force a government to agree to the demands by taking hostage of a nation's civilians or a major landmass. America has experienced one of the most horrifying terrorist attacks, which led to the death of thousands of people after hijacking a plane and crashing into the World Trade Center on the Pentagon and a field in Pennsylvania. There is an old saying that one person's freedom is another man's terrorism. So, what are the consequences of the war and terrorism? For starters, war and terrorism frequently result in loss of life, the damage to property and infrastructure, and the relocation of population. These effects have a serious physical, emotional, and physiological ramifications for individuals and communities, resulting in trauma, bereavement, and a long-term health problems. Secondly, the economic toll of war and terrorism is massive. The expense of military operations, rehabilitation, and humanitarian relief can be enormous, with long term economic consequences lasting for years or even decades. Diverting resources always from social initiatives like education, healthcare, and infrastructure development to the support military activities can have long-term ramifications for a country's economic growth and development. Thirdly, war and terrorism frequently result in degrading of civilization's freedom, the limitation of human rights, and the establishment of authoritarian government. Fear and insecurity caused by these occurrences have a potential to erode democratic institutions and stifle political dissent. And for the final part, the physiological impact of war and terrorism may considerably not just for the individual immediately impact but also for the society as a whole. Fear, misunderstanding, and suspicion caused by these occurrences can lead to great prejudice, discrimination, and exophobia, exacerbating social issues. So now in the current world, what are the problems and that caused by war and terrorism? Like I have gained some of the information from the past previous things that has been done by the war and terrorism. Like in Syria, continuous conflicts began in 2011 and has resulted in thousands of facilities and substantial socioeconomic devastations by the development of ISIS and other extremist groups who have carried out countless terrorist assaults in recent years throughout the world. The long running conflict between Israel and Palestine, which has led in countless violations, conflict, and terrorist acts. The continuous battle in Afghanistan, which has claimed thousands of lives and caused substantial socio-economic damage since 2001. In Yemen, continuing conflicts which since started from 2015, and also in Myanmar, recent military takeovers has been resulted by widespread social turmoil and bloodshed. The continuous struggle between India and Pakistan over Kashmir disputed territory. These are just a few examples of how war and terrorism continue to cause a huge socio-economic issues throughout the world. And about my opinion on these topics in war and terrorism have a capacity to cause immense destruction of people, community, and whole nation, loss of life, relocation of people, damage of infrastructure, and economic turbulence may all have long-term and far-reaching effects on communities, impeding growth and advancement of future generations. Furthermore, terrorism and conflict may instill profound dread and mistrust, leading to the integration of social cohesiveness and social structures. To solve the problem of war and terrorism, a multi-phased strategy that addresses the underlying cause of these challenges is required. I have given some of the strategies that can be put forward to overcome these problems. Resolving social and political problems that might lead to extreme belief and bloodshed is one of that. And the second one is enhancing democratic institutions and encouraging inclusive governance that promote the involvement and representing of all elements of the society. And the third one is addressing the core cause conflict of every problem, including resource constraints, injustice, and historical grudges. And the fourth one is to confront transnational dangers. International collaboration and coordination must be strengthened to stop all kind of wars and terrorism. It is critical to acknowledge that there is no one size fits all answers to the challenges of war and terrorism. Rather, governments, civil society, and international organizations must work together to address the cause of core of this crisis and promote peace, stability, and security for all. So these are the things that we can be done to overcome these social problems of war and terrorism. Thank you.